it's one thing to have a fucking story or to have a struggle, right? It's one thing to have really went through some shit, right? And then you turn that adversity and you put that into a positive and you go build some shit. You make yourself a name, right? Like you become successful, whatever it is, right? Like that's one thing. Yep. But on the other hand, just sitting there complaining about the fucking struggle, that's not like that won't get you anything. It's not going to change anything. It won't change anything that what happened. Now what could, if okay, yeah, I went through X, but I learned this and this and this, and now I'm going this way. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with that all day long. But the victim stuff, like dude, the world does not give a shit. It doesn't care how hard, like it doesn't care how hard you fucking have it. It doesn't care.
What's up, guys? Sean French here with another episode of the podcast, The Determined Society. Tonight, I have a very special guest with us, and this is a guest that I've been wanting to have on the show since I started this podcast. You guys may know him as DJ. Some people call him Big Reggie, which we got a big laugh at when we were talking before we came on to record. But for those of you guys that don't know, DJ is the co-host of the #1 rated self-development podcast in the world, RealAF with Andy Frisella. I truly love DJ's story. He's a future husband. He is a father to a beautiful daughter named Ryan. And you guys are going to get a whole lot out of his story today. And I can't fucking wait to hear it. DJ, what's up, man?
What's going on, baby?
Oh, man, we're just doing it here in Florida, man.
Oh, Florida's, man. I would much rather be there. We got snow and freezing rain and ice and bullshit help here in the Midwest. So
you fucking shoveling snow?
No, I don't shovel snow. No, I just drive. The wife stays home. I just drive right through it. We're all good. But,
you got a tank?
I probably should. We're supposed to get up to 18 inches. I mean, it's yeah.
So, 18 inches in one day?
So it's been freezing raining for the last almost 24 hours. And so we have a nice little break right now, and then in about another hour or so it'll be snowing for the next 24 hours. So
damn. So you just stuck in the house then, right? Or can you get out?
I mean, I still work. I still go in, and I got a Chevy Suburban that 4-wheel drive. I'm able to power right through it. But
damn.
Yeah, so I still get it done.
We don't have those problems here, man. It was like 30. I woke up at 4 the other morning to go to the gym, and it was like 38 degrees, and I thought I was going to die.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I mean, dude,
Missouri's good, man. Like right before the snowstorm, it was 60 degrees. It was 60 degrees Monday and Tuesday, and then on Tuesday it started dropping, and then the rain and stuff came. It started raining all day, and then it turned over to freezing rain and sleet and now snow. So yeah, so it's just the Midwest is weird.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all do it. I mean, like I said, it drops down below like 65 here, and everybody thinks the world's ending. But I mean, Southwest Florida all year round. I'm down by Naples. It's awesome, man. It's awesome. Like it's literally hot all year round, except for winter will come and visit us like 2 weeks out of the year. But otherwise, dude, it's a pressure cooker here. It's actually kind of nice,
Yeah, I love it.
So,
I love it.
Dude, so let's get into it. By the way, guys, if you're watching on the Spotify feed, you'll be able to see this amazing shirt that he has on. He actually has a Determined Society shirt.
I feel like an OG now. I feel like
you are, dude. You are an OG. So, story behind that, guys. What was it, like 7 months ago?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
7 months ago, I was talking to DJ over DM, and I had picked up my shirts from Renegades here in Fort Myers, and I wanted to send him, Andy, Sal, and then Jim, Andy and Sal's dad, shirts. And so DJ was kind enough to give me the information to send it there. And it's funny. I I was thinking about this episode today after we agreed to do it like on a fly. And I was like, man, wouldn't that be really cool if he wore his fucking shirt?
No
And I
way.
was like, man, I don't even know if he's got that thing anymore. But hey, it'd be cool if he did. And like, it's my show, and you're wearing a shirt, and I'm wearing a
I
Pac
wear it
shirt.
'cause it makes me look jacked. So I mean, I put it on. It's not my,
Yeah,
it's not
dude,
my
that's what I'm
first time, by the way.
What's that?
I said it's not my first time, by the way.
No shit.
I promise you, I've worn it a few times before. So
That's really cool, man. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to get freaking. Well, I got video proof of it now.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. No, it's really cool, man. They so yeah, DJ's wearing the shit. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts and you don't get to see it, flip over to Spotify so you can, because it's sexy as fuck. So, dude, talk to me, man. Like, what is one thing that people don't know about you? Something funny.
Oh man, something fun. See, it's weird, man. So like, when people see me and Andy, people forget like I manage Andy's personal security, right? Like that's how we came together. And so it's like, for me, it's a little weird because I've always like been the guy behind the stage, right? Never in the spotlight. I didn't have a following. I didn't have any of that shit. And so it was weird. So I mean, there's probably a lot that people don't know about me. Man, let me see. I speak multiple. I can speak a few languages.
No shit. What do you speak?
I can speak French. I can speak Italian. I speak Arabic, and a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Bosnian. So
wow.
I'm multilingual. Yeah, I went to my high school was probably one of the most like legitimately diverse high schools, I guess, in the St. Louis area. It was actually an international studies high school, and so I had all different types of friends there, and yeah, I picked it up really, really easy, and
Damn, dude.
and yeah, so I speak a few different languages. That's something.
Bosnian, Arabic. It cannot be an easy language.
Arabic was by far the hardest language I've ever had to pick up. But the good thing is, because I had like one of my good friends, he was Muslim in my high school, and so having somebody to talk to was great. Now I can't read it or write it for shit, right?
Okay.
I can speak it. I could like, if you drop me off in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever, I'll be able to make it through.
That's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool because it's cool.
My wife's from Ecuador.
Okay.
And you would think I'd be able to speak more Spanish than I do.
Yeah.
I can't. Fuck, man. But dude, like, it's funny. Our 3-year-old, she doesn't speak it, but like, if my wife starts yelling at her in Spanish, she knows exactly what the fuck she's saying. And she stops doing
that's a big push, man. Because like, I got a 15-month-old, and that's something I really want her to kind of like pick up. And so I've been thinking about it. But the problem is like, I'd be the only one in the house speaking it. So it's like, you need more than one person, you know what I'm saying? Because she has to hear conversations of people talking about it.
Yeah. You
gotta
teach Alex.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that's gonna be a little bit tougher. So
dude, it's hard. It's hard. Like think about that. The foreign languages is harder to pick up when you're older, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I mean, I can get by in a small conversation, like little things. But then, like, during Christmas, when we go to Tallahassee, Florida, her mom starts talking to me.
Yeah, nope.
And I'm just like, what, Mom? Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't do it. And come to find out, like, I said to her, I go, Magdalena, why are you always talking to me in Spanish? I only know a little bit. She's, oh, because Jacqueline told me to only talk to you in Spanish so you learn. I'm like, all right.
That's a pretty good tool. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, no, man. So that story I do want to get into, because I think it's really cool. Because it all began with trust, right? But like, one thing that I thought was really interesting about you, that I saw, I was like, dude, you can play the piano.
Yeah. I've been playing the piano. Oh man, 10 years now. No, I've been playing. It's been almost going on 15 years. But I'm not like classically trained. I didn't like I'm self-taught completely. I can't even read sheet music.
No
And so
shit.
that started off in high school. My freshman or sophomore year. It was freshman year of high school. And I played the saxophone, right? I was one of those like high school football players because I play football too, but like, during the home football game, right? During a halftime, I'd go grab my fucking saxophone and play with the marching band at halftime, right? Like that was me,
No
right?
shit.
But it was just my freshman year, right? And then after my freshman year, I got really serious about football and stopped all the music stuff. But I played saxophone. I was really musically inclined growing up. And so I played saxophone and I told my band teacher, I'm like, hey, I want to play piano. Like, I want to learn how to play piano. And she's like, okay, yeah, of course, no problem. I can teach you some stuff, right? And so she sat me down and she gave me some sheet music, expecting that there was going to be a crossover there. But piano sheet music is a little bit different than normal sheet music. And I'm like, I can't read that. And she's like, well, if you can't read this, you'll never be able to play piano. And I just took that as like, okay, challenge accepted, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you.
Like, what
And
the
so
fuck?
and so we had one of the little soundproof rooms in the band studio, and so I would go in there. I picked up some that Scotch painter's tape, the blue stuff, and I put Scotch tape on each key of the whole piano and wrote down the letter of that key. And from there, I started building my chord progressions and okay, these are major chords, minor chords, and I just always had a really good ear for music, and so it just kind of stuck with it, man.
Dude, so that's interesting. Like, did you go to a high school that was more of like a center for the arts? Because the reason I asked that is because you're able to speak so many fucking languages, right? And you have musical inclination. So I'm just wondering.
Yeah, no. So my high school wasn't, but so I'm a product of public schools here in St. Louis, St. Louis City, St. Louis Public Schools District, and it used to be a massive school district here in St. Louis, but over time, enrollment changed. But elementary school, middle school, those were actual visual and performing arts schools, right? And so, like, I mean, dude, I've you're gonna hear some first stuff here. You heard it first here, guys. But like growing up in elementary school, middle school, I was a dancer. So
that would have been the thing that I said.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Yeah. See, I still try to hold off on some of my secrets, man. No, but I was a dancer, man. So we have a you ever heard of the Muni?
Of the what?
The Muni?
No.
So the Muni is, we have it here in St. Louis. It's like a it's like a performance center for the arts, right? It's like an outdoor amphitheater where they put on plays, right? It's like our St. Louis version of Broadway, right? And so growing up, I was a Muni kid, right? I performed in the Wizard of Oz there. I mean, it's a massive thing here in St. Louis, the Muni. I mean, it's a pretty historical thing too. But did multiple shows growing up. I was a huge dancer, really into the ballet. I was classically trained in ballet. I was really, really good as a dancer, right? And so that was middle school, elementary school, and then middle school. And then when I was in middle school, it was like seventh grade, I believe. We were going to perform a show. We were doing Cinderella. And these are not like, little small plays. Like, these are massive productions. Okay. And I will never forget. So I was always a big kid. Right. And, I was a heavier dancer, but I mean, dude, I was pretty decent. Right. And one of the producers for the Muni, her name is Nancy. I'll never forget it. And I remember I was in seventh grade, and she came to me, and she was like, you'll never, like, you're never gonna be like a big time dancer because you're fat, you're overweight. Like, you'll never be able to be a good dancer like that. And like, I was a young kid, and dance was like, dude, I like, my older brother was playing football and stuff growing up as a kid. I didn't do any of that. I was not athletic. I wanted to dance, like, believe it or not. And dude, that hurt me. And so I had that happen. And then I had got stuck in a they messed up I went to a dance studio, right, called Coca here in St. Louis, had a scholarship there. And so like that happened. And then literally the next day, Coca had messed up my dance class and assigned me to this like tap dance 101. And I went in there, it was like a bunch of like little 3-year-olds learning tap dance. And so everything just happened. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing it anymore. And so I quit. I quit. that passion that I had, I stopped. And, and then got to high school. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll just play some music, did the saxophone thing, like I said. And then that didn't work out because I just kept being told what I couldn't do. Right. And one day I was walking down the hallway and my, the head football coach saw me walking by. He was like, hey man, you need to come out on the football field. And I'm like, I've never played. He was like, we'll figure it out, And I got there and I started playing football my sophomore year of high school, sophomore, junior year, senior year, and ended up getting a D2 scholarship to play football in college. And so playing 3 years of high school football got pretty good.
Bro, listen, dude, I'm gonna tell you this, and I mean this. You're probably the most well-rounded dude I've had, or anybody that I've spoken to. And the one thing that I'm sitting here listening to right now is we're all the same. Yeah. We all hear shit in our childhood that beats us over the fucking head. Yeah. I was told my whole life by my PE teacher, because I couldn't do a sit-up. I couldn't do a pull-up, and I couldn't run a mile in a certain amount of time, or the super lap, right? And Mr. Dorn, I hope he's listening. But Mr. Exactly. Dorn would call my parents and say, your son is so athletic, he will never amount to anything athletically. And I'm like, motherfucker, wait till baseball unit comes around. I'm going to blow your fucking doors, dude, because I'm a fucking dude. Yeah. And I would think that, right? It's just, 6th, 7th grade, I'm already dealing with, you're fat, you're chubby, you have big ears, all this shit, right? Yeah. That, comes in, starts coming into our subconscious, and then we're fighting that the rest of our lives. Yeah. And then, but that, no matter how good I got at baseball, I mean, I played at LSU, dude. I got to go play. I got to go to a College World Series, and Skip Bertman coached me, but like, you never stop hearing those voices. Yeah. And at some point in time, when we grow up, we have to sit there and say, like, yo, that's not who the fuck I am. Yeah. When was that point for you,
man? I think that point kind of came, I had to grow up pretty early. My childhood was not it was not the childhood my daughter's going to have. I'll just say that. It wasn't, there was no silver spoons, right? It was fucking plastic sporks. You know what I'm saying? Like it was not, I love my mom. It was a single parent household. I love my mother to death, and she did everything she could, but it wasn't, it just wasn't your typical upbringing. I lived the area that I grew up in. It was shit. I mean, I saw my first dead body at the age of 9 in my back alley taking the trash out. The where I live, the neighborhood that I live, it was gang infested, drug infested. There's a documentary called Ganglands. Yeah, they did an episode on my block. It was not good. And so I think growing up, I kind of had to grow up really, really, really quickly. Mm-hmm. My older brother, he was in and out of dumb shit, and so I kind of had to be the big brother / father / I started working when I was 16 years old, had my first apartment at 17, right? Like I had to grow up pretty quick. I don't know if I can look back and say there was like, this particular situation that kind of made me grow up. That's I never really thought about it like that, or thinking back to a time where it was like, okay, yeah, this was that pivotal moment. I mean, I feel like it kind of just all grayed in together. What I will say though is, this is one thing that bothers me, with where we are in society right now is like, the victim culture shit, right? Like nobody cares. You know what I'm saying?
You don't get a trophy for that shit, man.
Well, I mean, what I mean is like my story, right? Like, yeah, I could put that shit in a book and probably make $1 billion, right? Like, but ultimately, your struggles, nobody really gives a shit. Nobody does. And I think what I had to learn, and maybe this is like the self-realization point, is like, I had to learn that, like, hey, guess what? Like, yeah, DJ, you had it pretty fucking hard, but guess what? no matter how fucking hard you have it, no matter how bad you think your struggles are, no matter how much bullshit you went through, no matter how much negativity you've had in your life or how many people told you whatever, no matter how hard you think you have it or had it, there's always going to be somebody that had it worse. Right. And I think for me, understanding that, and realizing like, okay, well, yeah, like, yeah, this is pretty bad, but it could be worse. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always had that kind of mentality, I remember I was in, I think I was probably in like 5th grade in elementary school. And it was like almost dead winter. I mean, just it was like probably like October, right? It's cold outside. And our electricity was turned off, right? My mom couldn't pay the bill. And, so we're using candles and, we had a gas stove that we would, turn the oven on to heat the house, right? Like, I mean, but you're getting dressed in the dark. And I remember one morning I was getting ready for school and I went in, to my closet to grab my shoes and got my shoes on. I'm leaving out the house, for some of us, I'm sure you probably relate, but my mom was the type of mom, you get yourself ready for school, you get out the house and go because she's asleep. Don't wake her up. And you better not miss the bus because she ain't, like one of those type of moms, right? And
Okay.
So, but I got dressed in the dark. I got ready. I got my stuff on, and ran outside to get to the bus, and got to the bus, and I was literally walking up to the bus stop. The street lamps over top, and I looked down, and I have 2 different pairs of shoes on, right? Because I'm getting dressed in the fucking dark, right? And so immediately I'm like, well, it could be worse. I could have no shoes on. And so I get to school. Luckily, I was, a semi-popular guy. I was able to make a joke out of it and came a fucking school trend, right? The next day, 5 kids come to school with 2 different pairs of shoes on, right? But like my point is like, it doesn't matter. Like nobody cares. The world does not care how bad you had it. It just doesn't, because there's always going to be somebody that had it worse, right? And so I just had that mentality,
No, man, that's awesome that you're able to have it at such a young age too, because most of the time, that's a generalization. In my experience, it took me a long time to get that way. It took me a long time, and I don't know why. You know what I mean? I'm not sure why, but I always had the poor me that my dad was hard on me, and he called me fat, said I wouldn't be anything if I didn't play in the major leagues. That shit bothered me. That was a big deal. But like, we had power, right? Now again, he was my biological father. I don't know, right? Okay. Left when I was 2. Like I saw him like 3 times my whole life. Whatever, but it is what it is, right? But my father, my dad, my stepdad, right? The guy that raised me. Like, dude, I got to give him credit for all the good shit too.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I cannot give him all the bad credit, none of the good credit, because I'm gonna tell you something. He taught me how to work, right? And he helped me so much, and he got me all the help that I needed to become a really good baseball player. And it's just funny because I could sit here all day, and that's part of my story, and it's the shit that I got to get through, right? And then I have to work backwards and say, okay, my 3 children, I won't speak to them that way.
Right.
When I go and watch them play baseball, whatever it is, like, hey, did you have fun? It's good. Like, hey, enjoyed watching you. They want to get better at a sport and they want to be a badass. Well, okay, let's go to work. Right. But I'm not going to hammer on that kid. I'm going to teach him how to be a winner. Right. But I'm going to do it the right way.
Yeah.
But it's one of the funniest things about your story. And when you start talking about the fucking shoes, I did that shit.
Yeah.
I did that shit in the 4th grade, man. And I don't know why, but it was the opposite, because I wasn't the cool kid. I wasn't a semi-popular kid. I didn't gain popularity until I got to high school and people saw me throw a baseball.
Right.
Right. That's when I got the respect. Right. But dude, that 4th grade, man, like, and I had a pro wing. Remember pro wings? They're old shit shoes.
The Jordan. No, I don't know.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't fucking Jordans. They were like Payless shoe source stuff, right? And
I had Shaq.
Okay, so yeah, those are cool. Those are cool. But I had a pair. They were both white shoes. One was a Reebok and one was a freaking Pro Wing. And man, I got some shit at school that day. Because I wasn't.
I was able to play it off, so it kind of worked out. But I'm like, shit, can't do that no more.
Fuck, man. Like it's like whatever. But I couldn't agree with you more on no one cares, right? No one cares. The victim mentality. The poor me. That's going to get you a lot of likes on social media, but it's not going to get you any respect.
Well, I mean, not only that, but like a like doesn't change your circumstances, right? Like if you're going through some shit, right? Like, and this is what I hate the most because we all see these posts, right? Where these people get on there, these posts, and they make the IG posts, and they're just, whoa, it's me. They're complaining, like, okay, you get the likes, cool. So what now? What? Like those likes are not gonna change your fucking situation. They're gonna change.
They're gonna fill your fucking cup up.
No, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, I got really. Like that stuff, like it's just so pointless to me because like that's just like it's one thing to have a fucking story or to have a struggle, right? It's one thing to have really went through some shit, right? And then you turn that adversity and you put that into a positive and you go build some shit. You make yourself a name, right? Like you become successful, whatever it is, right? Like that's one thing, But on the other hand, just sitting there complaining about the fucking struggle, that's not like that won't get you anything. It's not going to change anything. It won't change anything that what happened. Now, what could, I went through X, but I learned this and this and this, and now I'm going this way. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with that all day long. But the victim stuff, like, dude, the world does not give a shit. It doesn't care how hard, it doesn't care how hard you fucking have it. It doesn't care. It doesn't care.
No, I mean, it's always inspiring to see someone share their story on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, I don't give a shit what it is, Twitter, and you see the evolution, right? You see here's where I was at, here's what I did, here's what I'm doing, now here's where I'm at. That's some cool shit.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. But I think the other, right, of just the woe is me, those likes just give power to your struggle and make you think that people are like, oh no, it's okay to feel that way. Right. Our job as human beings is to make a choice every fucking day of how we're going to attack life. 100%. Right. And one of the things that, you and Andy always talk about that I 100% subscribe to is you versus you every single day. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't give a shit what the neighbor's doing on his podcast right now. I've got fucking DJ on mine. I don't give a shit. Right. Like, handle your side of the street. Right. Yeah. And that person in the mirror, that's your competition every single day. Right.
100%, man. 100%. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, so you're going to say something? Because I want to hear it.
No, you're good.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Right. Because I mentioned to you before we got on the air here about a post that you published mid-March, I mean, of 2021, right? I think probably right before the world caught on fire, right? Yeah. Or right around there, right? And you had mentioned like how much your life has changed in the last year. And if someone would have told you, and you were walking up to a private jet, right?
Yeah.
And if someone would have told you that you would be there at that moment, you would have laughed at them.
Yeah.
Now, walk me through that, because I know the story, some of it. I know what's been published, what you guys have talked about, but I don't think all my listeners will know, and I want to hear it too. So,
yeah, man. So I had got with let me see. I was with Andy. It's actually a little bit over 2 years now. Mm-hmm. And so that post, I'm just double checking when that post was made. That was
March 16th, 2021.
Yeah. So, dude, like before I got with Andy, man, like, I don't want to say I was in a tough spot, mm-hmm. But I just left the public sector, right? of law enforcement. I was happily with my soon-to-be fiance at the time, fiance now, and this was before we found out we were pregnant and all of that. And I was just, I kind of just floating, man. Does that make sense? I was just going with the motion, right? Going with the flow.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. It's Wednesday. All right.
Yeah. Cool. I got food on the table. I got a job. Fuck it. Cool.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was really going through the motions, man. And, I had, I was just kind of in a lull. Like, it wasn't bad. I wasn't worried about having to get dressed in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel you.
But it just was. I just was, right?
Okay.
And so the CEO, the guy that owns the private security firm that I work for, his name is coincidentally Andy as well. But I've been knowing him for like 6 years, right? Prior to this. Worked with him a few times in the past. He also came from law enforcement, and seen him off and on, and we somehow connected. And so one day I'm just sitting in my truck, and I'm going through my contacts, right? And I see his contact. I'm like, man, I should reach out to him and just see what he has going on. Now, this is like November of 2019. And so we connect. We do a couple of small things here and there, but it was nothing consistent, and luckily I had saved up a little bit. So but I was not working, quote unquote, full time for anybody. I was kind of just a floater, right? And so I had worked with the CEO of my firm a couple of times, and finally I'm like, hey, dude, listen, I need something. You know what I'm saying? Like, those savings are dwindling, right? Like, I need a little bit more consistency. And he's like, okay, well, it's funny you say that. And so now we're looking at like December of 2019. He's like, I think I might have something for you. But the guy is a little particular, right? He does not get along with everybody. And so, I don't know if I can't promise you that he's gonna stick with you, but I can try to, push it forward and see what happens, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, let's do it. I guarantee you, whoever the fuck it is, they'll love me, right?
Yeah.
And so, in our business, like, I don't get I don't get really any information on the client literally until the day of, or the day before, right? And so that's to keep down all the biases and all of that shit. I just get a folder and like, okay, this is who you got, this is your guy. And I had no idea what First Form was, because I was not in that space, right? I wasn't in the personal development space. I didn't know anything about Andy, First Form, nothing, right? And so I get this guy, I'm like, well, first thought, I'm like, well, damn, this dude's pretty jacked. What the fuck does he need me for?
No shit, man.
And, but I'm going through the file, I'm reading the back date and, why the contract started. I'm like, okay, cool. And so I meet Andy, it was like 9 a.m. I had to meet him at the old First Form headquarters. And so I remember pulling up to the back parking lot. I'm like, all right, let's go in, let's meet the boss, right?
Yeah.
Going in through this back door, and as I'm like about to open this door, Andy is coming out and he fucking hits me with the fucking door, right? And like, he hits me, and at first my knee-jerk reaction was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And he saw me, he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Andy? He's like, are you DJ? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh shit, I'm sorry, man. Like, come on. And dude, we hit it off. And so, at that time, the new First Form headquarters was being built. And so me and Andy would go down there literally 3 or 4 times a week and just walk through the building, right? And at that time, it was a concrete slab. It was concrete slab. They had the 4 walls. They had, it was, the metal studs and stuff were up, but there's no real, me looking at it, I just saw fucking concrete slab, and we're walking through, and as we're walking through First Form, the new HQ, while it's being, built, Andy's going through and like, I see him, like, he's visualizing everything. And he's like, okay, well, this is where, this is going to be, this is the auditorium, this is the barbershop, my offices are here. And like, I'm looking at him like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
a fucking barbershop? Like,
why? Right. But I'm like, I don't see what he's seeing. Right. And, but I'm like, damn, this dude's got some like serious fucking vision, or he memorized those blueprints by heart, right?
Yeah, right.
So then like another couple of weeks goes by, and we're walking through. I mean, we were down at the new issue literally 3 or 4 times a week, and he was just walking through, wanted to see the progress, wanted to see where it was. And, you know, we would talk, you know, and my business is kind of weird because, like, you know, I'm typically supposed to be just that fly on the wall that doesn't say shit, right? That kind of, you know, just sits back there, me mugs everybody, right?
Yeah.
You know, but it just felt different with him, right? Like, and I've done this line of work plenty of times before, but it just felt different. And so, you know, but we have conversations, we're talking about stuff, we're going back and forth on things, right? And one day, you know, I forget what I had said something to him, and while we were walking, he just stops. And he turns around and looks at me and he says, I don't know what you're here for, but we're going to figure out your purpose. And like, he said that to me. And dude, it was weird because it's like, in that moment, everything started just flashing back, right? Like the dance teachers at Coca, the band teacher, right? That producer at the Muni, like all that shit started flashing back. And I'm like, okay, well, here I am. And this man just told me that he believes in my potential that I'm not even seeing yet, right? But there was a level of like reassurance, right? Because like, this is the same man that's able to walk through a building with nothing in there and tell me exactly where things are going to be in this layout and his vision. And so in my mind, I'm just like, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe you. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means, right? But I believe you. You know, and so like that changed a lot for me, right? Like that one single hand conversation changed a whole fucking lot for me. And you know, then fast forward a little bit, we found out, my fiance and I found out that we were expecting our first child. And that was a huge deal for me. You know, like I said, I grew up in a single parent household. You know, and so my outlook on life has always been, it's kind of like a trademark of mine, but I just say, think of the opposite. And so what I mean by that is, you know, I don't know, I don't know what a good father looks like, but I know what a bad one does. Don't be that, right? I don't know what a good husband looks like. I know my mom and dad were not married. I don't know what a good husband looks like, but I know what a bad one looks like, right? Like, and so I've always taken the opposite on that route. You know, but so we were finding out, you know, we found out that we were expecting our first child. That was a big deal for me. And so, you know, we're staying in a loft downtown in St. Louis at this time, which is not a place to raise a family. It's not a place to have a child down there. Like, I mean, it's safer than where I grew up at, but it's getting a little rough down there too, right? And so I remember telling Andy, you know, I had a conversation with him once we found out, you know, he congratulated me. It was awesome, cool. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I got a goal. I said, I never lived in a house, right? I never had a house. It's always been apartments and, you know, 2-family flats and, you know, complexes and shit. Like, I never had an actual house. And so I remember I was talking to Andy, I think we were working out and getting a lift in. And I said to Andy, like, you know, dude, I think I have a goal that I want to accomplish. And he was like, all right, what you got? And I said, by the time my daughter learns how to walk, I want to be in a house. I want my daughter to learn how to walk in a house. Right. And for me, that it just hit different. I don't want her to learn how to walk in a loft or a fucking apartment. I want her to learn how to walk in a house. Right. And so I told him that. And he's like, well, by the time she learns how to walk, how old will she be by then? I'm like, you know, a year, you know, 12 months or so, you know, 13 months, like that. It gives me about 2 years. He's like, no, you'll be in the house before that. And I looked at him like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, the way your bank account set up, the credit score there.
You're like, bro, I'm like fucking late 20s, early 30s. I still ain't been in a house. You can tell me it's gonna happen for 2 fucking years.
Ain't happened. But again, right? Like, I go back to, you know, when he was walking through that building with absolutely nothing in it, and tell him, like, I just knew that he can see something I just can't see. And I, like, for the longest, I thought the man was a fucking alien or something. But so I'm like, okay. And he's like, DJ. And then this is probably the most powerful thing that he just told me that really set a trajectory for my life. But he said, DJ, listen, whatever your goals are, scratch them and make bigger ones. Whatever they are. You say you want to make $1 million, scratch it, make $100 million. If you want to you know, like whatever you want to be the mayor of your city? No, be the fucking governor of the state, be the president of the fucking country, right? Like whatever your goals are, scratch them and make big ones. You know, and so then he got me onto the visualization shit, right? And that's when I'm like, all right, fuck, like learning some shit and got to, I mean, I've seen that literally work firsthand. Like it's powerful stuff. And, you know, long story short, you know, through the visualization, through trusting the process, putting my fucking head down, just working, right? We closed and moved in our house 3 weeks before my daughter was even born. Right?
A year. It's like 15 months before you thought you were going to do it.
Man, it was wild. I mean, we're here, you know what I'm saying? And then it's not like, you know, oh, this is your nice first time. Like we got a fucking, like we got a house. Like,
dude, I know, I see it. I fucking love your house, dude. Like you always post shit about your house. Like you fucking, and you can actually, you do good lines, the fucking lawn. I know that's your thing. I know that's your thing.
The best, man. But no, it was, I didn't see that, you know, I'm like, okay, how did this happen? Right? Like how did this happen? And like, you know, I think about, like, obviously, like I a lot of the credit has to go to Andy, right? Like, I mean, like this, like it's not like he's handing out fucking freebies or anything. Like it's literally just like how he changes your thought process. And you know, you're looking at something like this, and he says a simple fucking sentence that I swear if I would have said it, it would have meant nothing, but like just the way he says it somehow, like it just changes you, man. And so, you know, using that visualization, you know, walking around with him every day, like I tell him all the time, dude, I'm like, you know, he's paying me to be his security, right? But I feel like I should be paying him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm get to walk with this man every fucking day and spend hours and hours and hours a day with him. You know, and I feel like I'm getting so much value, right? Like everything is different. And my whole outlook on life is just different, right? And so, like, you know, in that post, if you would have asked me, like, if I thought that I would have been walking onto a fucking private jet, I would have laughed you in that face. Like I would have laughed you in your face. But now, right now, I can see myself. I can walk through that empty building, and I can start. I know where the layout is now. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. And so, I mean,
no, it does make perfect sense, man. I think what Andy did for you is he helped unlock something within your mind. It's the universal law, right? If you, and this is something that I do on a day-to-day basis, man. Like I visualized this 7 fucking months ago. I'm all about manifesting, right? You got to think of this shit. You reprogram your mind and you feel those feelings like you already have that, what it is that you want. You had to put yourself in that house before you had it.
Yeah.
And that's the big feeling, because, you know, once you feel that, you start acting, your actions are that man that already has that house. So all of a sudden your brain doesn't know any different. Your subconscious mind will do whatever you tell it to, right? It's like, okay, this is what we're thinking. This is what we're thinking. I'm going to have a house in 2 months. I'm going to have a house in 2 months. And then boom, you're in a house in 2 months, because that's the shit you started believing about your life.
Right.
You know, and that's what Andy, that's the gift Andy gave you. Right. And the coolest thing is you're getting to see that firsthand from probably one of the best at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's so crazy how, like, I mean, I'm nowhere good as good as manifesting and visualizing than he is. Like, I mean, like he'll say something and like literally 5 minutes later it's there. Right. Like it's unreal. Like I've truly firmly believe in that now, like that whole process. Right. And the crazy thing is, guys, like if you know, if you're listening, right, and you're hearing what I'm saying, and Sean's saying, like, and if you have not looked into visualization yet, the law of attraction, right, manifesting your dreams and aspirations, if you have not looked into that yet, you are doing yourself, your family, and your kids, you're doing them a massive disservice. And I will say this to the visualization part. What really made me understand is the fact that, you know, we live our lives, we go day to day, and visualization's happening whether you know it is or not, right? We just write that shit off as coincidence or happenstance, whatever the fuck they call it. Right? Like we just write it off. But in reality, when you focus that intently, you'll understand that nothing's by fucking chance. Nothing's by accidents. Nothing is a fucking coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. everything, you know, and so, you know, that there was, and to that, you know, the decisions that you make right now, right, are going to affect who you are, where you will be a year from now, right? 5 years from now. There was decisions and choices that I made 5 years ago that put me right here with you on this fucking podcast, right? And those little micro decisions that you make, that you consciously, intently choose to make every single day, they're going to put you where you want to be and who you want to be, you know, and it may not be tomorrow, sure, right? You know, but if you put that stuff into right now, you'll get there. You'll 100%.
Dude, I'm so fucking happy we went down this road
Oh, I love it.
because, like, bro, like this is everything to me, right? I was I was able to create, you know, I told my wife we're gonna have a house built. She goes, dude, we're not ready. House was built in 8 months,
Yeah.
right? Is when you focus on things and you feel those feelings of that already being accomplished and you can truly see it. If your mind can conceive it, you can achieve it. Fucking period.
Powerful, man.
I mean, it's so
powerful.
powerful. I mean,
Here's
dude, if I
the problem with that though is because we think about all the good shit, right? The houses and the cars.
Mhm.
But what people have to understand is those same principles that can manifest stuff in the positive light, those same principles on the flip side, right? If you're a negative fucking person and you're all, oh, woe it's me, right?
yeah,
Or why your life is going to continue to be shit. If you're constantly thinking about shit, your life is going to be shit, right? And again, that's not a happen chance. It's not coincidence. That's the fucking that's the law. That's the universe.
that's your fucking narrative. Like you're going out there, you're saying that shit. That's what you're gonna bring. It's like it's so funny because I was working with one of my clients before we hopped on the podcast. He's like, I'm not being able to control my thoughts. I'm like, you think that this is about? I was like, dude, you can never control a random thought, but you can control the way you think.
Mm.
You know, you're gonna have those random thoughts, but what are you doing? You know, on the backside, okay, well, fuck, you can't think that. That's not true. So then you cancel it out by positive shit, right? And the other thing about the law of attraction manifestation, you know, you see the movie like The Secret, it's so incomplete. Because people think that, you know, you sit there and like rub a lamp and the Lamborghini's gonna show up in your fucking driveway. No. There's massive action that you have to take, right? And like I cannot wait.
It's just half of it. That's 50%.
Yeah, it's it. It's half of it. You have to believe it and you have to put it out there. You have to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I think it's just like training though, right? Like it's like, okay, you want to gain some muscle, right? Well, you do some deadlifts, you do some bench press, right? Mm-hmm. The more you practice it, the stronger it will get. Now, mm-hmm. I will say this, I don't think it happens like that, but it can get pretty fucking close because I have seen it with my own fucking eyes. And Andy is a fucking master at it. It is so crazy. I remember we got into work one morning and we get in and we literally like, you know, just get in, we pulled up, we get out of the cars, we start talking. He's like, dude, I think we should get you like a Cadillac Escalade. Like, I think I want to get an Escalade for my security vehicle, right? It's decked out like a police truck, right?
Yeah.
But he was like, should I get something a little bit more luxurious for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should. Thinking about getting you a Cadillac, bro. Like, we'll get you a fucking nice white Cadillac, and I think that'll be dope. I'm like, yeah, Cadillac's pretty sweet. Like, that's cool. I could see it. You know what I'm saying? And we literally step inside the first one, and there was a guy there, Jim Edmonds, right? And he's inside doing getting the workout in, and you know, so we go over to him, we speak to him, and he says, "Andy, do you want to buy an Escalade?"
Fuck off.
I swear to God. He said, "Andy, do you want to buy an Escalade?" And Andy looked at me and I looked at him. I said, "Bro, what the fuck is happening right now?"
Yeah, did you set that up?
She's like, it's right outside. I've been thinking about selling it. I just want to get something different. And then he was like, "Well, what color is it?" I'm like, it's a white Escalade. I said, "Get the fuck out of here." Yeah. And that's not a one-off story. Like, I got fucking thousands of those. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, if you practice that stuff, if you practice visualization intently, right, with the like don't be like visualizing some bullshit, right? Like, but like real stuff, real practical stuff in your life, it'll get there. It'll happen. That's 50% is visualization. Now, like you were saying, you got to put some fucking work in. right? You can't wish and pray for fucking abs and you sit feeding your face with fucking McDonald's every day. It ain't happening.
Wouldn't that be fucking dope though?
Bro, I would have been there. You know what I'm saying? Like if it worked like that, I would have been there.
Bro, I look like the dude from 300.
Yeah, no shit. This is a McFlurry.
Give me a fucking McFlurry. Some Dairy Queen dipped in cherry. Fuck, man. That's the thing, man. Like, you know, that's the one thing I think people, you know, really, I want them to get out of this. And I had no idea it was going to go down this road, and I'm glad it did, because that is something that, you know, I talk to my people that I work with. I'm big on it in my life, you know, and obviously it can always be better, right? It can always get better, and as we practice it. But dude, when we hop off here, I'll tell you some of the shit that I have manifested, dude. Yeah. Like, I can't wait to share it with you because when I share it, you know, I'm putting it out there even more, right? And sure. I'm super jacked, bro, that we got the opportunity to do this. You know, I gotta tell you, dude, like I told one of my good friends, I'm like, bro, watch, DJ's gonna be on my podcast. You're fucking crazy. There's no way that dude's ever even know you exist. I said, bet, motherfucker.
No, come on, man. You're good, man.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. But like that's the thing, right? Like, you know, I already saw it, right? And then I stuck with it. And it wasn't like I said it once and then I just let it go. And then here you are, you magically appear like when I log onto my computer. But the point is, guys, if you truly believe something in your heart, in your gut, every ounce of your being, then go do it. Yeah. Because listen, if you can absolutely see it on the movie screen of your mind and you work every single day to get there, you make even the slightest move, even when you don't want to because you don't feel good. And that's the most important thing, guys, because we're not going to feel good every single day. Hell, that shit's a farce. I don't care how good a shape you're in. I don't care how much money you think you have. You're going to wake up every single day and it's going to be a different feeling. And what you have to realize is that motivation is bullshit and it's fleeting. Drive is where it's at. You have to be driven to go get your goals. And so, dude, with that, man, like, give these listeners, man, one piece of advice that maybe can flip the switch for them to create the life that they want.
Yeah, dude, I think it just goes back to what I said earlier, man. Like, if you feel like you're going through a tough time right now, right? The world is going to shit, right? Like it's been a crazy 2 years. We've been locked down. No matter what what side of the political aisle you stand in, man. If you feel like you're going through a rough time right now, I just want you to do a flip in your mentality, a flip in your perception real quick, and just remember, like, no matter how hard you think you have it right now, there's always going to be somebody who has it harder. There's always going to be somebody that has it worse, right? And just remember that, and keep fucking moving, right? Like, so what? Now what? And just keep moving. You can apply that to anything. Money, right? That's why I always say money should never be a measurement of happiness. Because no matter how much money you make, there'll always be somebody that has more, you know? And so it's like, you just keep your fucking head down, you roll them sleeves up, and you just get to work. And one day you'll look up and hopefully you have a life that you're proud of. And then that's what my goal is. And I'm striving to do that every fucking day.
Love it, brother. Love it, man. Listen, guys, again, thank you, DJ, for coming on. If you guys got anything out of the show, please share it, right? Share it out. Tag me on social media. Tag DJ. You know, share this with your friends, share it with your enemies. I don't give a shit who you share it with, but share it with somebody, because Reggie definitely said something that's going to resonate with somebody. And that's what this goal is about. It's about making the world a better place, one conversation at a time, one day at a time. So, hey, man, DJ, hang out for a bit, man. I want to say something. And guys, we're out.